Extract from the Anti-Gravity Handbook. 9 Unknown Man. So, in the occult lore, the 9 unknown men are millennium-old secret society founded by the Indian Emperor Ashoka. According to the legend, upon his conversion to Buddhism after massacre during one of his wars, the emperor founded the Society of the Nine to preserve and develop knowledge that would be dangerous to humanity if it fell into the wrong hands. I don't think so. These are just the devil advocate. These are all devil advocate. And later I'm going there see show who is this nine in the European mythology. The 9 were charged by Ashoka with manipulating the culture of India to present an image of backwards and mystically oriented people to the outside world in order to conceal the advanced scientific knowledge that was being accumulated within. Yeah, and only a few elite will get all this knowledge. This is what he wanted. He and many more, and then only the Western devils is the only one in this world that's no good, huh? Very convenient, all packed in one square box. That's how they see within their own glassy world, how they see the world through their own looking glass. Some version of the story include an additional motivation for the emperor to conceal scientific knowledge. Oh, I'm not surprised. Only the few elite, because that's the thing of the reptilian. Not everybody is supposed to have access to bounties, to wealth, to well-being, etc. Only the queens and queens. This is a reptilian tradition. Remnants of the Rama Empire in India, versions of Atlantis, which according to Hindu, that was not Atlantis, that one was Lumeria, not Atlantis at all, which according to Hindu scripture was destroyed by the bicep whooppery 1,500 years ago. Have the Rama Empire, more or less like that. For them was empire, of course, not for all. That was where was based the Ramayana mythology. Oh, Sumeria, Suma, not quite Lumeria, but quite near to Lumeria. I don't know how in the reptilians' ways of seeing things. Everything must be backward. What is good for them turns bad, and vice versa. Everything that has low moral value for them is high moral value, like hiding knowledge from people so that not everybody will be well in life, will be under their crutches because that's what they wanted, and only the little few elites, the chosen one, would have to have something so as to better control. Some versions of the story include additional motivation for the emperor to conceal scientific knowledge that was weaponry 1,500 years ago. Numerous figures who straddled the line between occultism and science fiction writing, most prominently and apparently Post, Louis Jacoliot, Talbot Mundi, and later Louis Powell and Jacques Bergier. And their Morning of the Magicians propagated the story of the Nine, claiming that the society occasionally revealed itself to wise outsiders, such as the Pope Sylvester II, was said to have received, among other things, training in supernatural powers and a robotic talking head from the group. In more recent times, according to the circle, the Nine assisted humanity by revealing the secret of the cholera vaccine. Oh, great! The secret of the cholera vaccine, because once this accursed one who in the first place created the virus itself. They created the virus and they are the cure. They are the representative of the Orion and Sirius Empire. Among conspiracy theories, the Nine Unknown is often cited as one of the oldest and most powerful secret societies in the world. And I thought, not me, I'm being sarcastic. I thought the smart Alex always pointed to the Illuminati. Oh, because Illuminati here, Illuminati there. No, amoebas, no. There is far more values and the sinister one, obscure one, other than Illuminati. It's not the Illuminati, the most terrible one. There's others, the most sinister one that you don't want to see. Usually, for the conspiracistic subculture, the image of the group is largely true and entirely benign. It's not, because it's secret. What secret cannot be benign? Theosophists believe the Nine to be a real organization that is working for the good of the world. Oh yeah, after they give evil, after they give the disease, they bring in the vaccine, the medicine. That's the idea of good. They are not good at all. These are not good. These are selfish beasts, reptilians, reptoids. Some modern Indian scientists, such as Jagadish Chandra Bose, were said to believe in or even to be a member of the Nine. He was a member, not believing, but a member of the Nine, although documentation on this issue is predictably scant. The Nine books. Each of the Nine supposedly responsible for gathering and proving in a single book. These books each deal with a different branch of potentially hazardous knowledge. Traditionally, the books are said to cover the following subjects: propaganda and psychological warfare. Propaganda, all the nonsense propaganda and psychological warfare. This is in the media, only showing negative things to spread the virus of fear and the virus of negative energy. 2. Physiology, including instruction on how to perform the touch of death. One account has judo being a product of material leaked from his book. Touch of death. I understand what's this touch of death, I know. Microbiology, and according to more recent speculation, biotechnology. In some version of the myth, the waters of the Ganges are purified with special microbes designed by the Nine and released into the river at a secret base in the Himalayas. I believe you are right. Alchemy, including the transmutation of metals. In India, there is a persistent rumor that during times of drought or other natural disasters, temples and religions organizations receive large quantity of gold from a known source. Yeah, but that one's for a few, for the elite, not for the poor. The poor continues poor. Communication, including intercaste with extraterrestrial gazoops. When people see everything according to what they believe is right, they are seeing only what they want to see. Because for them, belief is seeing and not otherwise. Seeing is not belief for the people who already had made up their minds. But belief is to see. But for the outsiders, I don't think that this river has friendly bacteria. Because if it does, the others from Philippines, Indonesia, South America, Latin America, North Africa, all over Africa also has their friendly bacteria. Is that not so? Those waters are polluted. Those water are deadly polluted. When you make up the minds of the ignorant poor put into their conscious, into their mentality, into their consciousness that they are dealing for clean water, you're gonna create a collective of people who does not want to think outside the box. They only follow religions, cultures, nationality, race, etc. They don't care to think outside the box. You see? And there is where lies the line between reality and illusion in this planet. But well, for Caesar, their own currency. Who are we to say to these people to think differently and do things differently? Let them. To me, I let them seem in their own crap. We have alchemy. Is it alchemy, the art of turning metal, mineral into precious metals? And also the art of making things happen, realize things, place ideas into reality, maybe. This crossy here, huh? Has everything to do with the Dracos. Dracos reptilian. So, alchemy including the transmutation of metals. In India, there is a persistent rumor, disasters, temples, and religious organizations receive a large quantity of gold. Communication, including technology with extraterrestrials. Oh, great. Gravitation, Book 6 is said to contain the instruction necessary to build a Vimana, which is a spacecraft, sometimes referred to as the ancient UFO of India. Cosmology, light, sociology, including rules concerning the evolution of societies and how to predict their downfall. Also, with that comes astrology. I have seen this in my lucid out of the body experience, mental experiences. I see exactly like that, everything shines, sparkling, and I saw how things were created. The Vimanas. Sociology, including rules concerning the evolution of societies and how to predict their downfall. According to some interpretations of surviving texts, India's future it seems happened way back in its past. Take the case of Yantra Sarvasva, said to have been written by the sage Maharshi Bhardwaj. I don't know how to spell this Bhardwaj, how to pronounce the name. This consists of as many as 40 sections, of which one, the Vaumanika Prakarana, dealing with aeronautics, has 8 chapters, 100 topics of 500 sutras. Yantra Savasva, no, I skipped this, I don't need all this. Bhardwaj describes Vimana, one aerial craft and being of these classes. These beings have a lot of link with reptilians, inclusive those there on the hollow earth, I know that. And they deal with black magic. There's many castes to them, not all is the same. There's many group. There's the very low one, that is the Agoris, who eats human flesh. That one is one of the worst. The others are more like sophisticated, but not without black magic. Just like we have also in the West, we have throughout Asia and Middle East. This black magic nonsense is just about everywhere. Those that travel from place to place, those that travel from one country to another, those that travel between planets. Can they? Will they? Do they? I really doubt. I doubt that the reptilians will give them free card to try all this and experience all this. Of especial concern among these were the military planes whose functions were delineated in some very considerable detail, and which read today like something clean out of science fiction. For instance, they had to be impregnable, unbreakable, non-combustible, and indestructible. They cannot be destroyed. Capable of coming to a dead stop in the twinkling of an eye. Invisible to enemies. Capable of listening to the conversations and sounds in hostile planes. Technically proficient to see and recording things, persons, incidents, and situations going on inside the enemy planes. Known at every stage the direction of movement of other craft in the vicinity. Capable of rendering the enemy crew in the state of suspended animation, intellectual torpor, or completely loss of consciousness. This one is a remote control view psychic attack, capable of destruction, managed by pilots and co-travelers who could adapt in accordance with the climate in which they moved. Temperature regulated inside, construct of very light and heat-absorbing metals, provide a mechanism that could enlarge or reduce images and enhance or dismiss sounds. So again, good spacecraft has to be impregnable, unbreakable, non-combustible, and indestructible. Capable of coming to a dead stop in the twinkle of an eye, invisible to enemies. They use a magnetic field to conceal the craft from people's view. Capable of listening to the conversations and sound in hostile planes. Technically proficient to see and record things, persons, incidents, and situations going on inside enemy planes. Know at every stage direction of the movement of the other craft in the vicinity. Capable of rendering the enemy crew in the state of suspended animation, intellectual torpor, or completely loss of consciousness. Capable of destruction. Managed by pilots and co-travelers who could adapt in accordance with the climate in which they moved. Temperature regulated inside. Constructed of a very light and heat-absorbing metals. provided with mechanisms that could enlarge or reduce images and enhance or diminish sounds. Now, notwithstanding the fact that such a contraption would resemble a cross between an American state-of-the-art stealth fighter and a flying saucer. Does it mean that air and space travel was well known to ancient Indians and airplanes flourished in India when the rest of the world was just about learning the rudiments of agriculture? It was not them. It was given for by reptilians. Okay? At that time, the so-called reptilian Pleiadians, were there involved. Alright? And they fought, and a nuclear bomb was also thrown in India, not just in the Middle East and the Dead Sea, but also in India. That's what happened. It was not for the common Homo sapiens. Rather, it was for the elite reptilians who was here already, there in that place, in the east side of the planet. Not real the perception of the absence of proof. It's not proof, the proof of absence, blah 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 blah. For the manufacturing process described alongside delightful and diffuse and deliberately vague. But it does display a breathtaking expanse of imagination which had ever been implemented, would have propelled us even farther than Star Trek. No, it was not the common people that you find right now there. Although some of them have some knowledge which comes from the reptilians was the one in charge. The Inanna Ishita is in charge of India. Inanna Ishita is one of the Anunnaki princess, something like that. And here, the giant councils of the nine. When Prometheus gave fire to mankind, he infuriated Zeus. So to punish Prometheus, Zeus had him chained to a rock, and as the meat goes, the eagle came down, blah 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 blah. To punish the creation of Prometheus, mankind, Zeus and 80 other deities gathered to form the Council of Nine. The council members were as follows: Aphrodite, Apollo, Athena, Demeter, Hephaestus, Hera, Hermes, Poseidon, and Zeus. All these beings are the same that is from the Roman gods. The Roman gods also is the same as this one, and also the ancient Egyptian gods. Okay, it's the same beings from Orion. And if you ask me how they look like, well, they are not what you imagine them to be. They are like this. They would have to be like this. Okay. And like this. Those are your Prometheus, Athena, Demeter, Horus. Who else? Athena, Sekhmet, and much more. The ladies, can be like this a bit. The ladies, like this. So here we are, your gods. So that's the Council of the Nine.